There are lots of crimes in the Philippines which involve people who has mental disorder. As we all know, there are factors that affect mental disorders. These factors are stress, depressions, anxiety, and etc. But for the case of Solomon Verdadero, he experienced relapse due to drinking wine, poor sleep, violent behavior. Solomon Verdadero exhibited symptoms of a relapse schizophrenia on the time of stabbing incident. On March 12, 2009, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Maynard Plata and his father Romeo were at the Bagao police station, together with Ronnie Elaine. They went there to report that Verdadero had stolen the fan belt of their irrigation pump. After a confrontation with Verdadero at the police station, the three men made their way home on a tricycle but stopped at the drugstore as Maynard intended to buy some baby supplies. Romeo proceeded towards a store near the drugstore, while Ronnie stayed inside the tricycle. From the drugstore, Maynard saw Verdadero stabbing Romeo after he was alerted by the shouts of Romeo. Verdadero stabbed Romeo on the left side of the latter's upper back with the use of a Rambo knife. He again struck Romeo's upper back just below the right shoulder. Maynard tried to help his father, but Verdadero attempted to attack him as well. Meanwhile, Ronnie ran towards the police station to seek assistance. The responding police officers arrested Verdadero, while Maynard and Ronnie brought Romeo to a clinic but were advised to bring him to the Cagayan Valley Medical Center, or CVMC. Romeo, however, died upon arrival at the CVMC. Based on the examination report, his cause of death was cardiopulmonary arrest secondary to the severe hemorrhage, secondary to multiple stab wounds and hack wounds.
In information dated September 9, 2009, Verdadero was charged with the crime of murder for killing Romeo B. Plata. That on or about March 12, 2009 in the municipality of Bagao, province of Cagayan, and within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, the said accused Solomon Verdadero armed with a Rambo knife, with intent to kill, evident premeditation, and with treachery, did and their willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously attack, assault, and stab Romeo B. Plata, thereby inflicting upon him stab wounds on the different parts of his body, which caused his death.
On May 30, 2013, the RTC rendered a decision in accordance with the violation of Article 249 or homicide of the Revised Penal Code or Act 38015 of the Philippines. Wherefore, in light of the foregoing, this court finds the accused Solomon Verdadero P. Galera guilty beyond reasonable doubt of the felony of homicide, defined and penalized under Article 249 of the Revised Penal Code as amended, and hereby sentence him ranging from 12 years of prison mayor or as minimum to 17 years and 4 months of reclusion temporal medium as maximum, and to pay the heirs of Romeo Plata the amounts of 50,000 pesos as death indemnity, 50,000 pesos as moral damages, and 20,000 pesos as stipulated actual damages, and to pay the costs.
So ordered.
Wherefore, the court grants the petition and acquits accused applicant Solomon Verdadero P. Galera of homicide by reason of insanity and in accordance of the Public Act Number 11036, also known as Mental Health Act, an act establishing a national mental health policy for the purpose of enhancing the delivery of integrated mental health services, promoting and protecting the rights of persons utilizing psychosocial health services, appropriating funds therefore and other purposes. He is ordered confined at the National Center for Mental Health for the treatment and shall be released only upon order of the Regional Trial Court acting on a recommendation from his attending physicians from the institution. He is also ordered to pay the heirs of Romeo B. Plata the amounts of 75,000 pesos as civil indemnity, 75,000 pesos as moral damages, and 30,000 pesos as stipulated actual damages, plus interest on all damages awarded at the rate of 6% per annum from the date of finality of these decisions until the same shall have been fully paid.
So ordered.
After the imposed sentence of Solomon Verdadero, he filed a petition to the Court of Appeals. According to the testimony of Dr. Pagado, that drinking wine, poor sleep, and violent behavior were among the symptoms of relapse. The same testimony that was used as basis for his previous diagnosis. The evidence and record supports that finding that Verdadero exhibited symptoms of a relapse of schizophrenia at the time of the stabbing incident. Thus, Dr. Pagado reiterated Dr. Andre Juliana's conclusion that Verdadero was having a relapse of his illness on that fateful day. Further, on March 22, 2009, he was officially diagnosed to have suffered relapse of schizophrenia. The court notes that at the very first opportunity, Verdadero already raised the defense of insanity and remained steadfast in asserting that he was deprived of intelligence at the time of the commission of the offense. He no longer offered any denial or alibi and instead consistently harped on his mental incapacity, in exonerating Verdadero on the ground of insanity. The court does not totally free him from the responsibilities and consequences of his act. Article 121 of the RPC expressly states that when an insane person has committed an act which the law defines as a felony, the court shall order his confinement in one of the hospitals or asylums established for persons thus afflicted, which he shall not be permitted to live without first obtaining the permission of the same court. Instead of incarceration, Verdadero is to be confined in an institution where his mental condition may be addressed so that he may again function as a member of society. He shall remain confined therein until his attending physicians give a favorable recommendation for his release. Verdadero still liable for damage in spite of his exoneration in appreciating insanity in favor of Verdadero. The court absolves him from criminal responsibility. He nevertheless responsible to indemnify the heirs of Romeo for the latter's death. An excepting circumstance by its nature admits the criminal and civil liabilities exist, but the accused is freed from the criminal liability.